Hello, everybody. It's your boy Jmulls of Jmulls Gaming here today with how exploration is rewarded and how the desert section of Nier Automata absolutely captivates you and it serves as a perfect introduction into the game's world and story. Let's talk about it. Nier Automata is a complicated and deep story with various twists and turns and heavy themes and large, dynamic set pieces. It tackles what it means to be human, the difference between life and artificial creations. Man versus machine. Is there even a distinction? What does it all mean? These are heavy and loaded questions that the game raises throughout the story that aren't simple to answer, and Nier Automata doesn't insult your intelligence by implying that any of them are simple answers. They are complicated, often convoluted, with numerous layers of nuance and perspective, and seemingly whenever one question is answered, or at least guesstimated at, three more spring up from beneath the freshly uncovered rock. To me, one of the most important aspects of a story such as Nier Automata's is its beginning. Is it capable of raising these questions in an interesting manner, while feeling different enough? How does it do it? Is it trying to tell you something unique? Does it have a stance, or is it just a bunch of deep metaphysical questions in a veiled attempt at portraying a complex narrative? While a lot of attention is given to the first intro of Nier Automata with fighting angles and exploring the abandoned factory, or the carnival immediately after the desert section, I would like to raise the desert section because it deserves more spotlight, in my opinion, as one of the most perfect introductions to a game I've ever played. Sure, it's more like a Chapter 2 than a regular introduction to the game, but it serves as an excellent and compelling way to raise these questions to the player and keep them in the forefront of your mind, while also having so many bizarre interactions with the machines, their lines of dialogue, and just their overall apparent attempt at replicating the mannerisms and activities of humanity from years gone by. It serves as the perfect hook to make you invested in what this game is trying to tell you. At first, you could write off all these mannerisms and lines of dialogue that the machines spout and do, as what 9S says are just machines processing human information in no particular order, and it's all just random information. But it becomes too consistent, too situationally aware, almost as if it's an active attempt at that, to communicate, but by beings that clearly don't know how to naturally do that. It's probably hard to communicate in a foreign language when your only way of communication up to that point was instantaneous transmission of information on the machine network. But what Nier Automata manages to do is grab the player's attention with the desert section through a couple of ways. It knows when to be silent and let you drink in the desolate ruins of human civilization in the desert. It knows when to have absolutely beautiful music blaring at you that gives this wondrous sense of scale to it all. Like when you first see the entire residential section, and that's when it brings the music in, and it just adds this sense of scale and wonderment. You want to explore, you want to see what secrets lie within. It knows world design and allows the desert to feel far larger than any area you had explored up to this point. It feels almost endless and overwhelming, with hints of human civilization strewn about, ruined buildings and pipelines. Then you come to the residential section of a long-forgotten city and explore its various streets and ruins, with machines coming at you from almost every corner. All the while, the machines act like the inhabitants of a city under siege by an invading force hell-bent on their extermination. They feel anger, and they display anger, fear, desperation. They run away from you. They run at you, weapons drawn, shouting, "Stay away, stay away." And for a story composed of nothing more than androids and machines right now, the machines feel eerily human, even more so than the androids who are supposed to be fighting for humanity. The machines are seemingly displaying emotion, but in a broken, jumbled fashion, where they clearly don't know what they are doing, but the underlying desire to be like humanity is prevalent. They are being fed all of this information on humanity, but don't know how to process it, so it comes out in weirdly constructed sentences, short and poignant statements, culminating in us seeing robots trying to replicate love in numerous different freaking ways. Like, literally replicating love in numerous ways. This scene still freaking scars me in some ways. But we absolutely lay waste to them, but they seemingly never end, until the form that you bear witness to is a giant, almost cocoon made out of the bodies of the machines, shouting, "This cannot continue, this cannot continue," in ever more erratic fashion. And out from this cocoon of almost life spring Adam and Eve, who look just like humans, just like 2B and 9S, but they are machines. They act and sound like machine life forms. They have the same particle effects as machine life forms. But through the gameplay, they grow in level. They become stronger. Attacks become less effective against them, and they learn to fight back, and they grow and learn and grow some more. This is an excellent example of storytelling through the gameplay. We are bearing witness to evolution before our eyes, to newly created machine-based life, developing rapidly before our eyes, and then they multiply to create another. What the desert section does, right, is manage to make us question dang near everything we know about machines and what we believe from our own personal experiences outside of the game, what machines are. And what the game does is manage to make us question what they're capable of, and what their true objectives even are within this world. We find ourselves with absolutely no answers, but many more questions in a beautifully gripping world populated by androids and machines, and notably no humans, who are exhibiting more human emotions with each second that passes, and often in subtle ways. Remember back in the bunker, when 9S tells 2B that he had to lose all of his memories to save them both, and how 2B clenches her fist? Emotions are prohibited, but she's experiencing and displaying emotions in subtle ways. And if you understand the context of it all, it's brilliant foreshadowing. Where these scenes on a first playthrough add to the overall experience, make you question, make you raise, hey, these characters, these beings, these machines and androids are starting to feel emotions. But in context, in hindsight, hey, it's not a matter of them starting to, they always have. At least 2B and 9S. The set design of the whole desert section grabs your eyes with the beautiful lighting exhibiting this ruined aesthetic that I absolutely find wonderful to look at, while the music grabs your ears and adds to the sense of desolation and scale, while the gameplay makes you feel the machines evolving. You feel sliding down these desert sand dunes, and you feel these machines evolving quickly at that. You hear them becoming more coherent, their thoughts becoming more apparent. These are questions that are raised in a world that you find engaging, that you want answered. Are these machines alive? Do they really feel these emotions? These are the questions you have right now that you want answered. And the game is pulling you in, gripping you, grounding you in this new reality, in this whole new narrative experience that you haven't really felt before. You want to explore this world because of the questions that are raised, because they all further the narrative that is at play here, pushing your mind into an open field only to scatter whatever answers or preconceived notions you thought you had into the wind. And when you leave the desert section, knowing that anything is on the table and they are willing to go pretty much anywhere, and that this story can get freaking crazy and out there and will make you think anything can happen, you leave as a blank canvas for the game to paint upon, and that you want the game to paint upon. And that is an excellent way to introduce you to a world where there's a lot of deep themes and deep discussions to be had, where the game can make you walk into it with a bunch of preconceived notions, blast all of those off of you, leave you questioning, wanting more, gripping you in this world, so that the game can tell you a narrative, a story, as it goes on. And the game managed to do that in brilliant fashion by utilizing every aspect at its disposal through its medium as a video game. It uses the interactive nature of it, it uses the visual elements of it, it uses the auditorial experiences of it through the sound design, the dialogue, the voice acting, and the music. It fascinates you through your eyes, your ears, and your hands as you're playing through this game. It affects you with multiple different feelings of sensation, and does all of them expertly at that. This is only like a brief microcosm of why I love Nier Automata so much and why it's my favorite video game of all time. But the desert section is, like I said, a beautiful microcosm of what this game does so well. I'm going to call the video there for the day. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a comment down below with your favorite section of Nier Automata. What's your favorite route? Or did you love the carnival section the most, the desert section the most, the forest zone the most, the abandoned factory the most? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts and hear your perspectives on this game. And if you didn't enjoy the game or whatever, let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Because we all process and experience these stories differently. And that's one of the beautiful things about the industry, about the medium as a whole, is how different our experiences can be, and how wide our preferences can be. And while you're down there, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and helps support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. Stay safe out there, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.